I'm going to leave you with what was kind of a powerful story for me that came from my Camino. I could share a lot of them with you, but I'm going to go with this one. And then when I've told you this story, if anybody has any questions, I would be glad to take them. If we've got time, I don't know what time it is, but we'll see. It's about heroes. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about heroes. And I feel like heroes are good leaders usually. And I feel like good leaders that I look at and identify with are really people who have found their power. They have found why they're here. They have found how they're supposed to affect lives. And they've figured out how to do that. They've figured out how to touch people and to help people see their vision and follow them. I'm going to go back 15 years when I read the book Endurance, which is about Ernest Shackleton's trip to the South Pole. He, early 1900s, gathered a crazy motley crew of people to go down and take their ship called the Endurance to the South Pole, and they ended up getting stuck in ice. And he had to rally them to get their sleds and load it with all of their provisions and strike out across the ice before it moved in and broke the ship into pieces, which it did end up doing. So they struck out, and just read the book, but it's an amazing journey of these 15 people and the things they went through. And at one point, he left 12 of them under their boats, because that's what they had to do to survive, because it was so cold. They actually had to burn the fires inside the boats, and he and two other guys took off in a little boat, raging seas, high seas, 3 days, ice-cold waters, nothing to eat, nothing to drink. They're dehydrated, they're starving. One of them had to stay awake all the time to bail water, or they would have died, they would have sunk. They finally get to where they're supposed to be. They get the people to come save the other people, and he doesn't lose a man. He saves all 15 lives. And I read that book, like I said, about 15 years ago, and he became my hero. Any time that I would find myself in a situation that I didn't think I could handle or overcome, I would think about those guys in that boat. And I would think, God, hungry, starving, freezing cold, high seas. You know, if they can do that, I can do this. It was such a testament to the human spirit and what we're capable of when we just decide to do it. And it got me through a lot of things for a lot of years. And then just a few years ago, I read Cheryl Strayed's book, Wild. And if you haven't read it or heard of it, it's a story of a woman battling heroin addiction, and she straps on a friggin' 75-pound bag just because she's stupid, not because it's the right thing to do, and strikes off to walk the Pacific Coast Trail, which is 2,500 miles. And she does it alone. And she replaced Ernest for me. Maybe it's because she was a woman, maybe it's because it was more recent, but she became my hero. And there were several times when I was faced with things that I didn't think I could get through, and I'd think, wait, if she can do that, I can do this. And I took her with me on the Camino. And there were several times in the first 2 or 3 weeks when I would have those moments, and I would just think, what am I doing? I have to stop, I should go home, I'm nuts. And I would think, wait a minute, if she can do that, I can do this. And about 3 weeks in, I was facing another unbelievable uphill late in the day on the top of a couple of other unbelievable up and down hills. And I looked at it and I just was whipped, and I just thought, I can't do this. I can't do it anymore. I've lost my mind. I don't know why I'm here. And I thought, wait a minute. If I can do that, thinking back on St. Jean and that first day that kicked my ass, I can do this. And I stopped. And I was sorry. every time. I stopped, I was just there by myself, and I thought, wow, I've just replaced myself as my own hero. I've got that for the rest of my life, but it gets better. It gets better. I had left my 21-year-old daughter, an NYU student in her senior year, homeless in New York. We had a lease on an apartment. It fell through. Mom has to go off, and there she is, homeless, couch surfing, trying to get through her senior year, doing the best she can. I had left my sister Debbie in charge as mom, as surrogate mom, while I was gone. And while I was gone, my daughter Madison calls her Aunt Debbie one day and says, gosh, unbelievable day. I come up out of the subway. I'm exhausted because I'd been up all night on set already. It's freezing cold. I don't have my big long coat because I just didn't think I'm couch surfing and I'm homeless. It's cold, it's raining. I come out, I have 3 long avenues left, which if you don't know, if you've ever been to New York, that's like 9 blocks, which is like a mile. Freezing, cold, it's raining in my backpack because my backpack doesn't have the cover. And I stopped and I thought, wait a minute. My mom is walking 500 miles in northern Spain by herself with a backpack. If she can do that, I can do this. And when I got home and heard that story, it just made me realize that not just me, but all of us, everyone, we've just got to live as big as we can. We've just got to live every day with courage and love and kindness, because people are always watching and people are always learning and we're always impacting people even when we don't know it. And that is all I have for you this evening.